Good morning, good afternoon, good day. Welcome to another day on planet Earth. And today I thought I'd come in with a little bit of an update of some of the goings on around the planet and maybe some things that you can do to help you to restabilize. Because there's been quite a few disruptions over the last week or so, and even the last 24 hours. Certainly in the last 24 hours, there's been a lot of disruption in the Schumann resonance, lots and lots of frequency spikes in the Schumann resonance. We even had the Schumann resonance spike at 40 hertz. From a frequency point of view, it normally sits at about 7.84. It goes up and down slightly, but generally it stays pretty stable. So over the last 24, 48 hours, it's definitely been spiking. So if you've been feeling a bit dizzy, been feeling exhausted and tired, if you've been feeling a bit sort of foggy in the head and maybe a bit more tinnitus type feelings, that could be because of the jump and the shifts in the Schumann resonance. At the same time, we've got lots of activity happening on the sun, and there are some scientists saying that that maybe the sun's north and south magnetic poles may flip. What fun. Obviously, we've been having lots of water issues around the planet, lots of floods in the US, which has been very sad, but also floods in Tokyo and Europe and all over the place. So I'm not sure whether that has something to do with it or not. And recently they've uncovered a whole lot more things under the pyramids at Giza, which has been kind of interesting. There was a discovery or uncovering 6 months ago of these shafts that were under the Giza pyramid, or they thought were under the Giza pyramid. Now they're sort of discovering that there are sort of rooms or buildings or maybe even sort of cities under the Giza pyramid. There's lots of tunnels and all sorts of things. So it's early days, but definitely something Ahmed's talked about many times, the things underneath the pyramids. So it doesn't come as any surprise. What else has been happening? Well, there's been lots of talk about alien craft and motherships hanging out over the Gulf of Mexico and a couple of other places around the planet. There's even been some videos showing it. Not sure whether I'm fully with it or not. This comes as NASA shared some foreign objects from outside our solar system heading towards Earth, which is kind of fun. They're not sure what it is, but there's lots of sort of activity going on. And I think the most important thing while this activity is going on is that we remain stable and hold our beautiful frequency, our resonant frequency. This weekend, actually on Saturday or Friday night, if you're in North America, Europe, I'm going to be running my Frequency Advantage workshop, which we're going to talk a little bit about frequencies and how we can stabilize ourselves using frequencies. Generally the Schumann resonance helps keep us pretty stable, but when that's jumping all around, it can, lead us to be feeling a little bit out of sorts. So I think if we can do some things to sort of hold resonant frequency states, it's going to be really, really helpful. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that on Saturday as well. So, and I'm going to post a new crop circle that's just appeared, which is kind of fun. So stay tuned for that post. Lots and lots of things happening. It's kind of exciting, even though it can be a bit disruptive, only because it's continuing that journey of us shifting into the next dimension of reality. And as we shift, more and more destabilization occurs until eventually we, do the flip or do the shift. So these are just signs of that continuing to happen, and I'm sure we'll flip at some point, in the not too distant future. Which would be great. But join me this weekend, if you can, at the Frequency Advantage, and love to see you there, and we can talk a bit about the Schumann resonance and also how to use frequencies to stabilize ourselves and to bring ourselves back into a more beautiful, calm, coherent, beautiful state of being. So lots of fun things happening this week. Some channeling happening over in Quantum Gateway tomorrow, and all sorts of good stuff happening. So I'm looking forward to seeing you there. and love to know your thoughts about what's playing out. Have you felt the shift in the Schumann resonance over the last sort of 48 hours? If so, just let us know. Love to know what experience you've been having, and yeah, let's have a chat about how we can help us maybe use some frequencies to stabilize ourselves, so that as that sort of maybe continues to play out, we can stay nice and calm and stable and in a harmonic, resonant frequency field. So, all right, I will see you really, really soon, and yeah, have a beautiful, amazing day.